Got Brooklyn with me. We're going to see the old Capitol Museum. Over here in Tallahassee, Florida, you can see the old Capitol in front of the new Capitol.
That is the old Capitol?
Yep, the one in front with the dome. You can see from the bell and the firefighter monuments, there's lots of monuments around it. We may not have time for them today. We may have to get them when we come back and do the new Capitol. Give you a little pan here. Hard to see it in the sunlight. Florida's great seal background. It's a lot easier to make out when you look at this picture from 1927. It stands way out, you can see it well. A lot of history here. A lot of history. This is the dome on the top of the Capitol as it appears today. This picture in 1960 shows vandalism. You can clearly see the word Yankee painted on the top of the dome. In this photo from 1963, you can see the Confederate battle flag flying over the Capitol's dome. Look at that design. You just don't see that in buildings anymore. Let's go check it out. Boy, when you're standing right under it, it looks so much bigger than it does when you're standing away from it. Gives you an appreciation of the sheer size of it. Before we get started, here's a couple older pictures of the old Capitol building. So let's slip on in there. So we figured out that that we're too early. So we've come from the east side entrance around to the west side entrance.
Oh my goodness, that's cool.
A view of the west side entrance, much like the east side entrance. And then, yeah, I don't run them. And then here behind us, you have the new Capitol. Here you have a memorial to the Medal of Honor recipients with all the fancy design and makeovers.
I think you're allowed to go.
Porch and entry deck. It's still made of wood.
Hey guys.
Still got wooden doors. And look at those little handles. We're still waiting to go in. As I'm looking, you can see the edge. Look at the decoration that's in there. You just don't see that in buildings anymore. As we enter the Capitol, we're going to start in room 101, which is indicated right here. This is the center of the Capitol and work our way out, starting on the right side on the bottom floor first. The entry. Let's see. Let's go over first and start on the right. Look straight up, bro. Ain't that cool? It's kind of cool to think about. For the last 178 years, people from all over the world walked up and down them stairs, leaders from other countries and from around America. The original glass dome was installed in 1902. It had to be removed within a year, though, due to leakage. It was then replaced by tiles on the top, copper tiles, I believe. In 1923, these copper tiles were replaced by frosted glass during a renovation of the Capitol. The original art glass that was in the dome was considered lost to time until the 1978 renovation, when it was found hidden inside the walls of the rotunda in the old Capitol. Painstakingly, it was pieced back together and reinstalled. Executive branch. Introduction theater. You go in and watch a short video. We are about to enter room 114, which is on Florida's artifacts before that time period. Florida before 1885. Let's go in here. It's going to be artifacts before 1885. Take a little look around. The artifacts contained within these displays represent Florida's history before 1885 and are related to Native Americans, the Civil War, and the carpetbagging era of Florida's history. Gamble Mansion. Civil War Reconstruction period and the Bourbon period, 1861-1885. Look, Brooke, you see all this cool stuff? Take your time and look, baby. U.S. Army coat, some rifles. What a glare on it. I don't know how well you can see it. Carpetbagging reward Florida. I'll help you. Remind me before we leave each room and I'll help you, okay? Enfield rifle musket. It's even got his name on the butt of it. There's some unspent and some spent projectiles leads. Put a bayonet on that Springfield. Early statehood government, 1845 to 1861. Talks about David Yulee. Colonial history. A few artifacts from that. There's some flint, off an early flint rifle. Some uniform buttons and ceramic plate. There's a few pipe pieces, pipe bowls, and some lights. Oh, there's some money. Railroad currency during the railroad history. Belt buckles, branding irons. A lot of cattle history in Florida. We're stepping into the Civil War and Reconstruction era here. Surveyor's compass. Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was Florida's first territorial governor. Everybody knows who that is. America, 1821 to 1845 territorial government. Points. Oh, that man was going up 4 lane road. This is what the original interior walls would have been. 1840s bricks. See it? The executive branch home. We're now entering rooms 113A and 113B. These two rooms originally served as the governor's office from 1845 to 1902. These two rooms now contain memorabilia, artifacts, and photos related to governor inaugurations and campaigns. Let's start on this wall. Campaigning for war records, monkey business, first televised debate. This is about old Lawton Childs, walking for Lawton. I think most people are familiar with that term. Shirt, shoes, different things. Governor Bob Graham's campaign on this wall. Tells you about his work days and basically telling you about each person. Bob Martinez's campaign. Different bumper stickers. Things it's for. Rear leg George Firestone. An inaugural evening gown. Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll wore this pleated purple gown to the inaugural ball in 2011. What is that? Did you look in it? I don't think you can see it in there. So, motoscope, I think it's called. Wooden stool. Governor Lawton Charles used this cedar three-legged stool in his 1991 state address to illustrate that the three branches of government depend on each other. It's a three-legged stool. And it's got a piece here in the center. Just telling you about all the different things that went on in campaigning. What it consisted of. Got another room here in Florida Government. That's it, baby. Remind me before we leave this room, okay? Tells you about if the governor dies in office and whose responsibilities were, what his powers are, the governor and the legislature. A lot of different artifacts in there. Gravel. Oxford shirts. Fred Cone. Graham, Commander-in-Chief. I'm sure all of these artifacts have a story behind them. Just more trying to give you an idea today of what's in the old Capitol. Way too much stuff here to put on video. We're still on the first floor. Right wing. He's in there. It's a cool time around there. Lieutenant Governors. Governor Lousy. We're now entering the stenographer's office. This is where the stenographer and the governor's secretary offices were located. The large wooden filing cabinet on the left was in the room in 1902 and is almost completely original. The secretary in this time period was Mr. Charles Dickinson of Madison, Florida. And the stenographer was Mrs. Grace Mann, the sister-in-law of Governor Jennings. Oh, this is going to be a cool room. Secretary's there, stenographer. Check that out. That's some old furniture there, bro.
Do we see anything?
Not yet. All the governor's portraits. That's all the governors we've had, bro. Room 110A was known as the governor's suite reception area. It's been fully restored back to original with period era furniture in it, and also contains portraits of the governors.
Is that the one?
And if you bring kids with you, they got a little hunt that they can do. So this would be the cabinet meeting room, it says on the plaque here. Here in the cabinet meeting room, now known as room 110C, is where the governor and his cabinet had their meetings. The table in the room is original, as well as the old steam radiator, the tobacco spittoons on the floor, and the bookcases around the walls. All those historical pictures all over the walls. A lot of historical figures are sitting in these chairs with the spittoon on the floor. Back during the Civil War, all through Florida's history. It tells you a lot of information in here. This would have been the governor's private office. Room 110B was the governor's private office. This office served William Sherman Jennings, who was Florida's governor from 1901 to 1905. The mahogany roll-top desk you see in these photos was his original desk. Mr. Jennings' wife, May Mann Jennings, was an active part in his governorship and with her help, the two brought about many changes in the education system, the labor force, and the conservation efforts of our great state. Look at that heater.
Oh my goodness, that's fancy.
Brooke, you see that sitting on the left-hand side over there of that desk? You know what that is?
What? A phone.
That's a telephone.
A cell phone.
Yeah, I'm surprised you knew. Stepping back out, we're still in the hall on the right when you're coming in the east side. So that's the end of this end. We're going to go back down to the main hall and go to the hall on the left. So we're headed back to go do the other end on the bottom floor. Judiciary branch. There's the cannon. Great Events Room. Room 120 is known as the Great Events Room. Showcases artifacts from around the Capitol grounds and historic things that's happened at the Capitol and around the Capitol. Hang on, we'll find out before we leave the room. Let's enjoy the room first. It's like it's the second room that comes off of this one. These 8 flags that you see here are flags that have flown over the Capitol in its history. Remind me before we leave out of here and I'll get your picture in there, okay? Yeah. Mexican-American War, the Third Seminole War, the Civil War. It's got all the different flags in this room at the Capitol. Let's start at Florida. There's just so much here, there's no way to tell you everything that's here. Some metal. The cannon's cool, ain't it? Look at that cannon. Brass cannon. This particular mountain house is set on the Capitol steps for over 70 years. You can see it sitting on the steps in this historical picture taken in the 1950. It's even got some howitzer shells to go with it. Plenty of signage in this museum to tell you about the different pieces and what they are.
You take pictures so you can go. I know what another thing is. This is.
It's called a 12-pounder mountain howitzer. Balls packed in there.
States of America, 1845.
It's telling you about great events, big events that happened in our history here. A lot of it to do with war, different decisiveness. Some artifacts from each era on display. The artifacts in this display case were found by archaeologists around the grounds of the old Capitol building during renovations in the building of the new Capitol. This room we're heading into now is dedicated to the voting history of Florida, specifically the one person, one vote ruling. It's a ballot box. It's talking about the voting, American democracy. Showing you one of the older voting systems. Ballot box. It says this ballot box was used in 2000 in Palm Beach County with this voting symbol. We gotta run over here before we go in there. Oh, let's go in here. Storyboards. It's telling you about the different processes of the court system. We are on the judiciary side. Construction of the Florida Supreme Court. Literature on that. Brooklyn with me today. Check that out. We're now headed into the Supreme Court chamber, used from 1903 to 1913. In 1913, the Supreme Court got their own building. This room was restored to its original condition based on a photograph from 1911. Most of the furnishings in this room are original to the room.
Hello, I'm Andrew Edel, a research historian here at the Florida Supreme Court. Today, I'm introducing an exciting new project. parent adopted English.
This is pretty much the end of this hall. Next, we're going to go to the second floor. One last little pan before we go. A lot of history in this room. When we think about this building, it goes all the way back in the early 1800s, mid-1800s. That pretty much consists of the bottom floors. Now we're going to go up to the second floor. These are pieces of the old temple. Love that stained glass. We're now on the second floor. We're going to do the hallway. We are now on the second floor and headed down this hallway. To the right first, House of Representatives. Education room for the little bench. I think we're going to do everything on the right side first. Maybe not. Before we go down there, let's back up. Hit these ones on the left. We the people will. Oh, here's one of these things on your list. A lot of displays. These are talking about the people that shaped Florida to make the laws and change and to resist things that they found unjudicial. Talks about segregation, Jim Crow. Yep. Native American, Seminole tribe. So a lot of this is in this area is just telling how the people forced the changes, forced the law, pressed on to change and shape Florida for all people. Cuban heritage, women's rights, immigration. Talks about the House of Representatives. This desk is about legislative desk of the House of Representatives. This walnut desk was part of a new set of furniture purchased in 1939 by the Florida House, used until the 1960s when Newgate furniture was once again purchased. Don Chiquet acquired the desk as a memento of his service as a state representative from 1958 to 1962. This room basically talks about Florida's two-party system.
I was looking at this man.
And here we are in the House chamber. Check that out. Just don't touch nothing. You see them little alarms on them desks? Old spittoon. once again, another historical room. Man, this Capitol building is just awesome, super awesome. You can only imagine how noisy it was and people sitting in it. Picture of George Washington.
Yeah, that's George Washington.
The carving in it. See if we can get a look behind there. I didn't even notice that. It's got the representatives' names on the front of them. I'm coming. Little claw. Look at the trim work in this building.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Tells you about the chaos in between. And then it's got the handkerchiefs that they dropped to show that they were ending the sessions, which ended up more becoming symbolic with the invention of phone. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Ornamental plastic fragment. Preservation architects uncovered pre-1902 plaster walls with a stencil design believed to be from the Senate chamber. The plaster was applied directly to the wood-clad layers of which can be seen here. So now we're going to cross back over to the other side here on the second floor. If you come in from the east side, be looking on the left hall. Remember the colors you see up there, that's what you gotta put on your paper.
They give you a TV that shows you the colors.
Just looking back down toward 1927, toward Perry. Out the second floor of the Capitol building, old Capitol building. All the stuff in here telling you about the couple times it's been restored too. Development. That's what this one is about. Tourism. Telling you about Florida's tourism age. As it's being developed and promoting, growing. Money coming in the section on Flagler. I believe they did a video there. It's on the Gardner channel, man. It's really telling you about the consequences to the water.
We just gotta get this one. We go 1980.
tried to restore it. It's been destroyed in Florida with it development. Talking about water wheels. Florida environmental fabric. Telling you about all the different senators. They're campaigning. The pork chop gang, everybody's familiar with that. They spent some time on the Osceola. Yeah. That's the Senate desk.
This is not my teacher's desk.
Says it was used in the Senate chamber from 1978 to 2016.
That's all the people that used it.
Incorporated an electronic voting system. See the phone underneath. Let's go into the Senate chamber, on the Senate floor. Much like the other. It's the Senate House, Senate floor, baby. It's more than Papa can explain in just a couple minutes. The law process, lawmaking. Huh? I ain't getting up there. A lot of history in this building. In the near future, we're gonna go do video on the new Capitol building. So that winds up the second floor. Let's go back downstairs. We're headed back downstairs. Now we're headed in the basement. Hold on to that hand. Examples of building materials. Yeah, it says you can. That feels good though. Great Seal from 1935. 1935 Great Seal. First revision, it's there. And in 1985 is the second revision. That one was 1846, the first Florida state seal. That's a big old seal, Brooklyn. See that? Made of mosaic tile. So it was placed in the floor of the Rotunda Capitol building in 1953. Second Florida state seal, 1868. The Florida Capitol Center. '73. Architectural model. Let's go see what you're looking at. You panicked? You think Papa done left it? It's another model. 1902 model there. there. That's the 1947 model of the Capitol building. And there's the 1973 model. 1973 model. That's the plaque. 1936, part of the addition of the House of Representatives chamber, demolished in 1978.
You guys here to see the museum?
Yes. Push. Well, that's pretty much all of the old Capitol Museum we're going to see today. We appreciate y'all joining us, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.